city and health. So I have had the privilege of living in two different continents, as well as working on four different continents because of my wonderful life experience I've had in the past. So, having lived on the outskirts of London, having lived in New York, the outskirts of the city, I'm from the suburbs, again, place, right? I could take the train in, be entertained, get a good job, get paid well, take a train out or a car ride out, cross the bridge, and I'm on an acre of land with a pool in the backyard and sidewalks and parks, one for every few miles, right? So that changes everything. And so I have been to Abu Dhabi, I have been to Dubai, I have been to Paris, I have been to Bath, been to London, to Mexico, and to Lisbon, and to where are a few other places I've been. I've been to a lot of cities, right? And in each of these cities, there's different things that make some better than others and more desirable based off of quality of life, visual, safety, and pollution and things of that nation. And so on this page, I focus on our overpopulated cities, decrease the life expectancy of residents due to high pollution, poor ventilation, high temperatures, and food insecurities. And so again, it's placed because it's not all of the cities. It's those areas that certain people live in, and it stays that way. Having been a New Yorker and watching Brooklyn after that stadium was built, and where my family lived in these beautiful brownstones, and they shot to $1 million places, and things start gentrifying, and where you only found liquor stores, bodegas, and Chinese food stores. Because of gentrification now, you have these beautiful coffee shops, nice little bookstores. Mind you, my family has lived on this block since I was like 4, and I'm 41 now. You have these beautiful fresh produce places, whereas before you need a car or a long trek on a train to get to just a decent grocery store. Not even like a Trader Joe's or Publix, where they had, and even the food line, I always call it Lion King, has local produce. So now it's even fresher because it's not having to travel. They're not putting wax coverings all over everything. It's not covered in plastic, and all these things matter. And so on this actual page, I discuss these types of things because they are of concern, and they do have an effect on both the quality of life of health, but also mental health and spiritual draining, or feeling like a way to fulfill yourself. And one thing that always makes me laugh is when I think of New York and you see the big city and they have that wonderful park that is like a perfect rectangle and the only like beautiful oasis of all the cement. And so unless you have enough money to where you could live in a place that's walking distance to there, you wind up taking a train. It has to be like a day event and not just jump on a train because I need to take a walk and get some fresh air and be amongst the natural air ventilators. And so I use this picture of London because that is my favorite city I believe that I visited. And I lived on the outskirts of London for 4 years. So it wasn't just a visit. I was there all the time. And so you can check out the blogs that I'll have, and I'll probably put the link in there when they're finally up, so you can see like the different experiences based off the cities I was in that I had, whether it was the tone, the vibe, the availability of culture, museums, and live art. It's not just the bad stuff like the pollution, the lack of greenery, and the increased temperatures and things of that nature. And so feel free to contact my website. My actual email is below on the bottom if you have questions or care to share an experience.